It's an absolutely gorgeous afternoon for baseball here on your exclusive home of Cardinals baseball, Fox Sports Midwest. Citi Field in New York, the Cardinals and the Mets in game number 3. Last night, game number 2, midway through against Cal McClellan, and Carlos Beltran with 2 outs connects with a 2-run homer. That tied it up at 4-4. We jump ahead to the 8th. Gerald Laird, 2 runners on. He drops down a bunt with 2 outs against Bobby Parnell. That put the Cardinals on top 5-4. The Mets, though, would tie it up, sent us to extra innings. In extra innings, Angel Pagan takes Fernando Salas deep. That's the ball game. Mets looking for a sweep this afternoon. With Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Day Baseball. And this is one of those games where the Cardinals have a very short turnaround, have to grind it out.
You really do. You have to bounce back. The Cardinals are feeling very comfortable about Salas in the closer's role. Now there is some concern about that, and we're going to have to check on the young man's psyche.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the bullpen when we come back. It's segment number 2, leading to our first pitch. A leaky pen. That's next on Fox Sports Midwest. There's nothing like it. Day baseball from Citi Field in New York. The Mets, the Cardinals in game number 3. A cause of concern right now for Tony La Russa, certainly on this road trip and since the All-Star break, has been the bullpen. A record of 1-4. The bottom part of that graphic, very much of a concern. 3 home runs allowed, with 2 of the 3 being walk-off home runs for Tony La Russa's closer, Fernando Salas. When we come back, we'll take a look at the rotation of the Mets and also break down the starters for this afternoon. Baseball just around the corner. A rather no-name rotation when you talk about the Mets of 2011. But these guys have been effective so far against the Cardinals. G. Dickey last night, and this afternoon it's Jonathan Nice. And Nice, the lefty, coming off a very good start against the Phillies. Earned the win in an 11-2 victory over the Phillies July 16th at this ballpark. So he'll get the Cardinals this afternoon. Meanwhile, for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jake Westbrook, he's been very good on the road. Overall, his record stands at 7-4. Can the ground ball pitcher make it stick in this spacious ballpark of Citi Field? We're in the Big Apple. It's game 3. Cardinals trying to avoid a sweep on the home of the Cardinals. Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Chevy. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers. By Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. #1 in quality tires and expert auto service. And by Steak and Shake. Life needs flavor. Citi Field, a hot afternoon here in the Big Apple. Game number 3, the Mets and the Cardinals. St. Louis trying to avoid a sweep, and the Redbirds start play today at 50-47. And the Mets 49-48. SpongeBob is here. It's Nickelodeon Day at the ballpark. Jonathan Nice getting set with Dora on the mound as well. Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Tony La Russa. He's had some changes because of the suspension to Ryan Theriot. So Nick Punto leads it off, followed by Jay and Pujols, then Holiday, Berkman, and Freese, Molina, Descalso, and the pitcher Jake Westbrook. Here's our scouting report on the lefty Nice, who is 9-7.
He's really become a shutdown pitcher. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's really developed a good cutter. He shut down the stolen bases. He works on both sides of the plate, so he really can neutralize. And maybe if you look at some other left-hander that he might remind you a little bit, is Andy Pettitte with a big slow curveball.
So he's 9-7, ERA of 3.73 on the year. The Cardinals have had their fits with lefties before, and we've seen that this hot afternoon here at Citi Field in New York. And a look at the defense for the Mets this afternoon with righty Pagan, the hero from last night, Beltran and right. Murphy, Reyes, Turner, Duda on the infield, and the battery is Nice and Ronnie Paulino. Mets defense brought to you by Dobbs. There's a look at Terry Collins. from Michigan. He takes over for Jerry Manuel's 7th year as a big league manager. 3 years with Houston and 3 years with Anaheim. And Tony La Russa on the other side. We mentioned that Ryan Theriot does get a reduced sentence, so to speak, from Major League Baseball. He will serve a 1-game suspension for bumping an umpire last weekend in Cincy. He was in the lineup today, but they changed that. They said, all right, let's have the suspension now, and he'll be available for the rest of the year.
It used to be when players would come to New York, they would have the hearing, and it would be in the league offices. Now I think that a lot of times it's videotape, but when Joe Torre heard the appeal, dropped the process from 2 games to 1, you serve it today in New York. Sometimes that's a big advantage for New York ball clubs.
Jonathan Neese, 7th round selection of 2005, slings it in there to Nick Punto for his strike, and we're underway here in the 1st inning. Jonathan Neese out of Lima, Ohio, 6'4", 220 pounds. And his birth date, October 27th of 1986. Pretty historic day in the franchise for the Mets. It's the day they won the World Series in 1986 when he was born. And speaking of birthdays, happy birthday to my partner, Al Hrabosky.
Oh, thank you. My last one.
You're now 38, 39. What is it?
39, I think.
39 for the 20th consecutive year.
No, longer than that.
I got to give you a little trouble. 3-1 is the count here on Nick Punto. So Punto moves from his initial spot in this lineup, which was 8th, to the leadoff man, and takes a strike. And the count is 3-2. Cardinals start play today, 2 games back of Milwaukee, game and a half back of Pittsburgh. We'll see the Pirates tomorrow night. Here's a 3-2 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. And that's how we start the ball game. They say it's sneaky fast with Jonathan Neese. Very good cutter. As you mentioned, Al, the big breaking ball, which is 12-6, and it brings in John Jay.
If a pitcher can throw fastballs up in the zone there, get hitters to swing at it, especially in this big ballpark, they're going to hit long fly balls, but they won't go out, and he does not give up many home runs.
Jonathan Neese, it took a recruiting call from Gary Carter, member of that '86 team, to persuade him to pass up a scholarship to the University of Cincinnati. And clearly our thoughts and prayers with Gary Carter and his family as he's battling cancer.
Have you noticed, I think it's about the 5th inning, they do a beautiful tribute to Gary, and everyone's thoughts and prayers with him.
1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Just underway here at Citi Field. Slap the other way. This could be trouble. It's slicing. That ball will get down. It's fair. Into the left field corner, and John Jay is in to second base, standing up with a 1-out double.
Just continues to hit, doesn't he?
It's going to be very tough to get Rasmus into this lineup if John Jay continues to hit and play very good defense. And John Jay with that double, safe at second, safe and secure. New York life.
Jonathan's now hit safely in 42 of his 53 games started, and that's better than .330.
Here is Pujols, 3 for 19 on this road trip. Does have 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Takes a strike. Went 0 for 2 after entering the ball game last night as a pinch hitter. And on Tuesday night, he grounded into 2 double plays. That's supposed to be over the window there in left center field. Pujols hits it out of play, and it's 0-2. We have seen the Mets not shy away from pitching to Albert Pujols. He's 0 for 6 in this series, and it's not been a good one.
I'm going to call time now, and someone has now noticed that panel out on the outfield wall. They'll have it replaced.
Pujols may be hard-pressed to extend his streak to 11 seasons of hitting with the average that he has. Needs 10 home runs to get to 30. Let's say he ends up with 550 at bats as Pagan fixes the wall. He'd have to hit 338 over the remainder of the season in order to finish up with a 300 average.
This is Albert Pujols. That's normal.
It could happen, but he hasn't done it this year. Not yet.
Still trying to find out that 3 for 19, why he was so hot. Couldn't start yesterday.
One ball and 2 strikes with 1 out and a runner at second base. But that would be an exceptional tear that we've seen Pujols go on before. Runners in scoring position. He is hitting 338 this year. Outfield is straight away and deep, and time is called. He just has not looked very comfortable in this series, whether it be hitting into the double plays. Clearly last night they went right at him late innings when he has a chance to put the Cardinals on top. The Mets have been very aggressive in how they pitched Pujols.
Maybe not as selective with his pitch selection.
Good point. He's chased a few out of the zone, and we understand Isringhausen is unavailable today. Picked up the save in game number 1, number 294, and then pitched 2 scoreless innings last night. At one point, he struck out Pujols, Holiday, and Berkman consecutive. Down the right field line, slicing foul and out of play. Isringhausen threw 34 pitches last night. And as he told Pat after game 1, he still feels a tug to the Cardinals organization. And he also understands he very well could be traded as he's pitching well right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. His last save prior to 2 nights ago was August 1st of 2008 for the 38-year-old wearing the birds on the bat. Al just told you about pitch selection with Pujols. He chased a ball up with Isringhausen last night. It seems like, Al, they're busting him in, and once they're ahead in the count, they elevate.
Get him conscious of the ball inside and then kind of work away. And like you said, we've seen a lot of fastballs that have just been up out of the strike zone that he's chased.
2-2 the count. Outfield is deep and straight away. John Jay is the runner at second base. Pujols taps it foul. Cardinals jumped out to a 4-0 lead last night, but they could not hold on. Mets came back, made it 4-2. Then they tied it up 4-4. Cardinals actually have lost 4 games this year in which they led by at least 4 runs, and all those coming on the road. Third time the Mets had come back from 4 down, and Pujols hits it down the left field line and out of play.
Great attribute of this Cardinal club is even with those tough losses, they bounce back.
You wonder if the club, though, is sitting back right now, human nature, waiting for a move to be made, as they are in a prime position to win the NL Central Division. Pujols, high fly ball out to deep left at the track, at the wall, and it's gone off the facade. The second deck here at Citi Field, and Pujols picks up home run number 21. And it's RBIs 56 and 57. He's been hitting those line drive home runs. This is our Nissan drive of the game. This one, the high arcing long home run.
Out a little bit in front on it, but he knew he caught this one. He gives it a good look.
And a quick 2-0 lead now for the Cardinals. Here's Holiday, looks at a strike.
That's the first home run that Nice has allowed in his last 4 starts, 5 appearances.
Holiday 3 for 4 in 5 plate appearances last night. He's back in the National League batting race at .323 in 3rd place. 1 point behind Todd Helton. And the leader is at shortstop, Jose Reyes, leading the National League as Holiday strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 2 down. This may be an indication of that sneaky fast and then elevating that pitch.
Say if you can get them to swing at a pitch up above the strike zone, that's a pitcher's pitch. High in the strike zone, those pitches will get hurt.
Lance Berkman now the switch hitter. Popped up to the right side. Playable, and the catch is made. Lucas Duda makes the catch. Pujols has given the Cardinals an early lead. Albert Pujols has given the Cardinals a 2-0 lead as we move to the bottom of the 1st here at Citi Field. Terry Collins, his lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Reyes, Turner, and Beltran. Then Murphy, Pagan, Duda, Paulino, Preity, and Jonathan Neese. Jose Reyes leads it off and looks at a ball up and away from Jake Westbrook. This season, Reyes leading the National League in hitting at .350, 3 home runs, and he has driven in 32. 9th season with the Mets when you talk about Jose Reyes. Playing in, David Freese, and makes the play. Defense for the Cardinals behind Westbrook this afternoon. Holiday, Jay, and Berkman in the outfield. Left side of the infield, you just saw David Freese, Descalso at short, Punto and Pujols on the right side, Westbrook, Molina the battery. Brought to you by Dobbs and our scouting report on Jake.
Well, he's got to keep the ball down. I know it sounds redundant, but this is a great ground ball pitcher. Keeps the ball down, you can get early outs, he can chew up some innings, and he's got to continue to pitch well on the road.
You would love to see him go a little bit deeper into games. He's averaging just over 5 innings per start this year. 2nd lowest in the major leagues. Among pitchers that have made at least 15 starts, and the lowest is Edinson Volquez.
And it really doesn't make sense for a guy that throws so many sinkers that should get early outs.
2 balls and 1 strike on Turner. We've been impressed with Justin Turner and his defense in this series. He's 3 for 10. We know that Jake is one of the quickest workers in all of baseball. 3 balls and 1 strike. I'm not sure you'll find a guy that works quicker than Jake Westbrook. 3-2. Can you think of anybody offhand that's quicker?
Nope.
Me neither.
His infielders love it. It's up to a hitter to try to change that tempo if it's a little too quick for them.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Line to Pujols, quickly 2 outs. You know, that's something too that also stands out about Westbrook, a reason that he's not going deep into games. Al, he's averaging 17 pitches per inning, 2nd highest in the major leagues this season. Only Jay Happ is higher than that at 19.
It's weird, you know, there's 17 is what the 2nd highest, and it's like around 13 is the lowest. It's not a big variance.
You start adding up those innings though, and
sure,
then you see where the difference is made. Here's Beltran. He hit a 2-run homer last night to tie it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. The asking price for Carlos Beltran is rising by the minute. He is a red-hot hitter right now. The switch hitter, free agent to be. Mets have come out and said that they will not trade Reyes, but Beltran could be had. And a strikeout for Westbrook. No argument from Beltran in a 1-2-3 inning. Freese, Molina, Descalso coming up. It's 2-0.
Are you ready to Cards Pirates tomorrow at 5:30 on Fox Sports Midwest.
Every Thursday on FoxSportsMidwest.com, we'll bring you the Farm Report. Brian Walton checks in on the prospects in the Cardinals farm system. Head to FoxSportsMidwest.com for the Farm Report. Many times that Farm Report focused on Shelby Miller or Carlos Martinez, two that are in the top 20 recently ranked by Baseball America. So head to foxsportsmidwest.com. You can see that. Also, you can see some clips from the Marshall Faulk roast, which will be aired tonight. Freeze with a high fly ball into center field. The catch made in front of the track by Angel Pagan.
Shelby Miller picked up a win last night for Springfield, but the star was probably Shane Robinson. He went 5 for 5 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs.
Sugar Shane, former college baseball player of the year. Here's Yadier Molina, who's batting .270, 5 home runs, 32 driven in. Gerald Laird got the start last night and surprised everybody with his bunt that produced a hit and an RBI in the 8th with 2 outs.
Tony talked to Jim Leland, very close friends, and remember Gerald played for Jim Leland last year and highly recommended him to the Cardinals, and said, "Did you see what your boy did?" And he told him about it, and he goes, "Oh, he can bunt."
Well, we have found out after last night that we really should not have been surprised, even though everybody was. He's done that a lot.
But Tony was one surprised as we were too.
Just in that point in the game when you need a base hit, and yet he does it in a way that you wouldn't really associate Gerald Laird with that late in the game. You'd think he'd drive the ball.
But kind of his reference point was, I've been facing a knuckleballer. Now I'm seeing a guy throw 99, 100 miles an hour.
That was Bobby Parnell. And it started with Dickey, the knuckleballer. Two balls, 2 strikes on Yadier Molina. Foul tip. We'll do it again. Neese has struck out 2. He's allowed the 2-run homer to Pujols. Third strikeout this afternoon for Jonathan Neese. In steps Daniel Descalso. Cardinals are pleased to offer fan-friendly values throughout the 2011 season. If you're looking for ways to save some cash or find a great value at the ballpark, go to the Fan Value Corner at cardinals.com/values. Should tell you that there are great promotional giveaways for the Colorado series. That's not this weekend nor next weekend, but the following homestand. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Descalso. But dynamic pricing is in full effect for the Colorado series. Just head to cardinals.com to find out about those discounted tickets. Descalso, ground ball, Reyes to his left, and makes the play. Toyota keys to the game. At home, Jake Westbrook with an ERA close to 7. On the road, much better. He's 5-2, 3.79 ERA, and that's a look at your Toyota keys to the game.
Another one of those splits that really doesn't make much sense. Just like Garcia.
In steps Daniel Murphy, third baseman right now for the Mets, but that will change starting tomorrow night. Terry Collins saying before the game that the Mets will get David Wright back tomorrow night. Hit over 30 at bats, a rehab assignment. They've dealt with some big injuries this year. They had Beltran over last weekend with the flu. They had to put their shortstop Reyes, who could be the MVP, on the DL with bad hammy. Wright has been out with a fractured back. Chris Young is done for the year with a shoulder, and so is Johan Santana.
David Wright went 2 for 2 with 2 singles, 2 walks, runs scored last night, and hit .476 on the rehab.
Here's a fly ball into center. John Jay. 4 up and 4 down for Jake Westbrook, and it brings in Angel Pagan, the hero from last night. ground ball pitcher, but in this ballpark, this fly ball doesn't hurt you one bit. We talked about the Colorado series for the Redbirds and the giveaways and discounted seats. Don't forget, we come home Monday. There are 4 games with Houston. $20 field box level seats. Bleachers are $16, and the terrace level only $9. Those seats will go very quickly. Field box $20, bleachers only $16, and terrace level for $9 for the 4 games against Houston when we come back on Monday night. Here's a ground ball right side. Punto makes the play, and Pagan, who hit his first home run at this ballpark last night, is retired. How about that? His first home run this year at Citi Field was last night.
Has 4 total.
Lucas Duda, 2 for 5 in this series. Strike by Jake Westbrook. One of the reasons why Westbrook has the record that he does. Average run support is near 6 this year, 3rd highest among National League pitchers. Good start here. 6 up, 6 down. Offense back to work when we come back. And so is Pat Paris. MLB.com @BAT11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Cardinals.com for details. Nice back to work, top of the 3rd. 2-0 St. Louis. A 2-run homer by Pujols in the first, his 21st of the year. The difference thus far is Westbrook leads it off, followed by Punto and Jay. Along with Al Rabosky, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Pat Paris has joined us, and let's just say you had an interesting interview with Colby Rasmus. For folks that didn't see it on the pregame show, give us the gist of the interview.
He's quite a center of discussion around Cardinal Nation. Obviously, he's kind of a hot button topic, and with the trade deadline coming up, thought it'd be the perfect time to sit him down, and not in the lineup as Westbrook takes a seat. He obviously is in quite a slump right now, and he is hard at work at trying to turn that around. I thought it was interesting that he told me, I said, are you getting frustrated? Because obviously he must be pretty frustrated. He said, no, I got past frustrated a long time ago, and he's really searching now for the approach, the work. You know, he's working hard, but he doesn't really quite understand what's going on and doesn't know how to solve it, because if he did, he would.
He was 1 for 4 last night. Did pick up an intentional walk, and he has 1 hit the road trip. He's 1 for 11. And there's no doubt he is a hot button issue with the fan base because he is such a talented player, and there's no doubting that. Speed. He's shown flashes of being a very good hitter, hits for power at times. Seen his arm be very good at times. Can he put it all together? And if so, can he do it wearing this uniform? I think is the big question.
And I asked him about that as well. About, you know, does he hear the talk? Does he? And he said he tries to not listen to it, but he also hears people saying, okay, you got to get better with your arm. So he worked on his arm. You got to get better covering your center field position. So he feels like he's been working hard at that. Strikeout there for Punto. But at the same time, while he says he's not listening to the fans, he cannot help but hear the talk about, should he be a Cardinal anymore? Would it be best for him to go somewhere else? He's going through a lot right now, and I don't think he has any. He doesn't have a Rolodex to go back on and figure out, okay, this is what I did in other situations. Al, he's never been in this situation before.
John Jay with a fly ball out to left. We'll talk more about it when we come back. Jonathan Nice has made 1 mistake. That was to Pujols. He has struck out 5 so far. On the Run at Mobile, 6 is a serious number. Get 25-cent drinks the next day, all day at On the Run at Mobile. That's any 20-ounce coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just $0.25. and we're serious and on the run. Ronnie Paulino had a big night in game 1 of this series. Behind the plate here for game number 3. Paulino, Pridey, and Nice. 7, 8, 9 for the Mets. 2-0 Redbirds in the Mets half of the third. Pat Paris, Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you and our Fox Sports Midwest crew. Little bouncer right side. Punto puts it away. And quickly one away.
One thing that I think Colby Rasmus has to realize is that he is a very talented young player, and there's other teams would like to acquire some of that talent. And because John Jay is playing so well, there is an option there, and the Cardinals have a lot of needs.
And the Cardinals have also said we'd like that talent to blossom here.
Sure.
So time will tell. We'll see. Jason Pridey, who's hitting .224 this year, 3 homers and 13 RBIs, 8th place hitter. Jason Bay is out, dealing with a sore back and also a sore hamstring.
And wouldn't we say if Colby Rasmus was having the type of season that he thinks he should have, we wouldn't be talking about wanting to trade him, or there wouldn't be any of this trade. Other clubs would be wanting to acquire him, but the Cardinals would have no interest.
I'm sure a lot of teams right now are saying, okay, here's a talented guy. Maybe he just needs a fresh start, change of scenery. Punto, nice play on the backhand. He's busy so far this afternoon.
Look, Tony La Russa was asked again today about Colby, and it was an easy decision for him today to start John Jay. See the ground ball, and a very nice play by Nick Punto. John Jay is obviously tearing it up right now, and in fact against lefties he's batting .298. Colby's done a better job this year against lefties, except during this slump that he's in right now, but it's not as good as John Jay's doing. John Jay's basically hitting .300 against both lefties and righties, so it made for an easy choice today. For Tony La Russa, he shares Colby's frustration, because obviously they want to see him become this star that he should, with that talent, develop into. And so, but Tony's problem now is they're kind of running out of time. We're here late July now, and they can't sit around and wait for him to figure it out too long. They're going to keep him active so that he doesn't just sit on the bench, but they've got to go with John Jay.
And if you're a GM, it's a gamble. I mean, you know, you can make that deal right now and he goes somewhere else and blossoms, and that's on your shoulders. But that's part of the job.
That's
sign
right.
up for it, right, Al?
Oh, yeah. A lot of times you can't evaluate a trade until 3, 4, 5 years down the road. And, of course, we may be even just talking about something that the Cardinals have no idea what we're talking about either.
Here's a 2-2 to Nice. Ground ball again to Punto. First time through the lineup, 6 ground ball outs for Westbrook. Pujols, Holiday, Berkman coming up. Don't go anywhere. The Cardinals campout presented by Bass Pro Shops and Tracker Boats is August 19th. That's a Friday night at Busch Stadium. CardinalsCampout.com to find out more. We've had a lot of emails to us about dynamic pricing for the Houston series. Again, field box $20, bleachers $16, terrace $9 beginning on Monday night for all 4 games against Houston. Here's Pujols, and the first pitch is grounded to short. Backhanded by Reyes. Whips it over to first. Boy, he is fun to watch, even on routine plays. Plays with a little flair, and very well could be the MVP this year.
A little bit out in front. Reyes gets there, backhands it. Not the Sean Dunston throwing arm, but it's plenty strong enough.
And a strike to Holiday. Struck out back in the first. Jonathan Nice has struck out 5.
Interesting. Albert first pitch swinging there, and he worked a 9-pitch at bat to hit that home run in the first inning. A titanic blast. Again, no distance, by the way, here, so we just have to guess.
Off the facade of the second deck. Titanic blast is good enough.
I think so.
That's
well above 371, right?
Right. 9 straight set down by Nice. Cardinals have 2 hits. It was back-to-back hits by Jay and Pujols. 10 of 13 first pitch strikes for the lefty so far this afternoon. So far, Jake Westbrook very, very sharp this afternoon. Nice, the one mistake to Pujols. Strikeout of Holiday. Second time he's gotten him. That's number 6 today. And it's up to Berkman with 2 outs and nobody on to extend the inning.
That makes 5 straight starts now for Jonathan Nice with 6 or more strikeouts.
Right.
He's just become a strikeout machine.
You see a lot of late swings from the Cardinal hitters with this fastball too. Not that time. Base hit up the middle for Lance Berkman. It was another first pitch strike, and that snaps the string for Nice. And Berkman, the 3rd hit of the afternoon for St. Louis. Replay brought to you by Plaza Tire Service. Left this up just a bit. And a base hit for Berkman into center.
I think that's a good approach to hitting, guys. Go up there looking for a pitch. A lot of times he's elevated the ball, but a downward stroke there, getting the line drive up the middle.
A rare base hit for Berkman that's not a home run.
It's been a little bit lately.
All or nothing for Lance. 26 home runs this year for Berkman to go along with his 66 RBIs. Freeze taps it foul. He flied to center first time up. Jonathan Nice a couple of years ago had a chance to meet Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax, friend of the ownership group here, and that's slicing into right. The Wilpon family. Matter of fact, Koufax and Wilpon went to school together as young kids and grew up together. And Nice said that all they did was talk about curveballs. He said his grip was the same, but curveballs not. He said it was a thrill, though, to meet Sandy Koufax.
Sandy still, I'm sure, or used to go to Dodger Town, maybe since they've gone out to Arizona. The Dodgers now with their spring training base. But he used to be a guest instructor every year.
Wouldn't he split time, Al, a little bit with the Mets, too? As a favor to Fred Wilpon?
Possibly.
Back to Nice. And he makes the play. The Cardinals strand their first runner of the afternoon. We move to the bottom of the 4th. Redbirds on top. Let's take a look at our trivia question presented by AT&T, who is the only Mets first baseman to win a Gold Glove. And he won a bunch of them. Keith Hernandez. 13 in a row, I believe, at one point, or 11 or 13 for Hernandez.
I only count Cardinal ones.
He's pretty good here, too. They liked him
Yes,
here.
yes, they did.
They still do.
And I don't believe he's working today.
He works over on the home side. He lives in the Hamptons. Had a nice conversation with Keith the other day.
They picked the right day last night to do their broadcast outside. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Today would not have been a good day to do the telecast outside.
Yeah, they're in their booth today, and
Yes.
they were in the seats.
They were
actually in the seats.
In the seats.
Reyes hits it out to left center field. On the move, Jay can't get it. Off the wall. There he goes. Reyes with a triple. Diving headfirst into third. Patented slide of Jose Reyes. He has led the league 3 different times in triples. And he leads the league this year.
16 now. 16 triples already. Major League leading hitter. He's come off the disabled list. Ball up. That produces a fly ball, and he gave this one a ride. You don't think of him hitting the ball nearly 400 feet. Dead center field. Jay kept on going back, never got to it. And with a little bit of luck, it would have been a ground rule double, but was not.
Corners are in for St. Louis. And here is Turner. That's the first base hit for the Mets this afternoon. First time through the lineup. Very sharp. You see Reyes with the 16 triples, but Westbrook 6 ground ball outs. Big gap in left center. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Turner. Lined out to first, and he is 0 for 1.
You're always going to try to maintain your shutout. But that leadoff triple and a guy with the speed of Reyes, you just work on the hitter.
A 2-0 pitch. Ground ball, and that'll score the run easily. 1 out, run scores, RBI for Turner, his 37th, and it cuts into the lead. It's 2-1.
If you try to make the perfect pitch or go for the strikeout, do those things, it usually becomes a crooked number.
And
so
Pat,
almost concede the run and shut them down right there.
And Pat, we see today that Daniel Descalso, late insertion into the lineup for Ryan Theriot.
Ryan Theriot came to the park today. His name was at the top of the lineup. He was going to be the leadoff hitter playing shortstop. He gets a text from his agent saying we've been offered a 1-game suspension instead of the 2 games if you take it today, but you have to take it today. So obviously he took it. The interesting thing was they didn't even have the hearing. What happened was last night Joe Torre, now an executive with Major League Baseball, who happened to be in the clubhouse this morning to visit Tony La Russa and many of the Cardinals, so he explained it to us. He and Joe Garagiola got together last night, and they kind of are the discipline czars, if you will, now. They're the ones that have the ability to reduce suspensions, set up the suspensions, what they're going to be, and they, having looked at it, understood what Ryan Theriot's reputation was, looked at what happened, the bumping of the bill of the cap. They decided 2 games was probably too much. They reduced it to 1. That was the deal that was offered today. Of course, Ryan Theriot quickly took it.
And also it was his very first ejection.
Right.
So
record kind of speaks for itself, and there's a walk to Beltran.
Now, Tony La Russa kiddingly said, well, I wish they would have made that decision yesterday afternoon because I wasn't going to play Theriot last night anyway. That could have been the suspension.
Right.
Instead, he was planning on playing him today, the day game after a night game, and instead he had to make a new lineup. And it took Tony La Russa an extra half an hour to post that new lineup, so we didn't know exactly what it would be because Joe Torre was in his office talking to him for an extra half an hour.
So what the Cardinals did, if you just joined us, they moved Punto from the 8th spot to the leadoff spot, and Scalzo goes into the 8th spot to take over at shortstop. So here's Murphy, who fly to center first time up.
we got billed for that half hour of lawyer time.
Probably did. Who's going to pay for us standing around out in the hallway waiting to talk to Tony? Nobody, I guess.
Here's a ground ball. Can they get 2? Out at second. And it's a double play. 6-4-3. RBI by Turner. It's 2-1 as we head to the 5th. Our What's on Tap is brought to you by Budweiser, Chris Carpenter, Paul Mahalam. Tomorrow at 5:30 will come your way. We'll be in Pittsburgh. And PNC Park, our first visit to see the Pirates. Carpenter, Mahalam. Join us at 5:30. It's our Budweiser What's on Tap.
Really looking forward to that.
It's actually a meaningful series getting later into the season with the Pirates.
With one amendment after the victory today. It'll be a fun series.
You'd like to see that. So far, good ball game. Pitchers duel here. Cardinals have out hit the Mets 3-1. As Molina hits it to second. There's Turner. And there's an out. Well, speaking of second baseman, we've been talking about this, that Nick Punto, we thought on Sunday night would be put on the disabled list. Not so fast. And here he is with that throwing arm. No issue at all at second base, Pat.
He joined me yesterday on the pregame show live, and he talked about his dad had said, go in the batting, go in the cage, throw the ball as hard as you can. Just, you got to know, do you need surgery on that thing or can you throw? And obviously the Cardinals wanted to know as well. He went and he one hard throw, he unleashed it, and he said he felt some scar tissue break up right then. And he knew that he could throw again, and then it was a matter of the last couple of days proving to the Cardinals.
There's a base hit off the bat of Descalso. All the way to the wall. sat on that breaking ball and drives it into right for a 1-out double.
I believe that.
I do too. Because first of all, that's a guy that would be in the lineup. Sees Descalzo ripping the ball into right field corner. There's a guy that wouldn't want to come out of the lineup, wouldn't want to take himself and put it on the DL unless it was something that he just couldn't play through. And so he got his elbow feeling better by just unleashing one heck of a throw. And then it was a matter of proving to the Cardinals, to Jose Oquendo, that he can play not only second base, but they wanted him to throw balls from third and short. He was able to do that the last couple of days. And you saw in that last play that he made it to end that last inning, the double play. He can throw that ball from a long way and throw it hard. They need him to do that.
Yeah, the other thing they like about him, his footwork. They feel that he's got real quick hands. Footwork is very good around the bag. So if he can't really let it fly, he can make up for it with the quickness and the release.
Correct. And a lot of guys, and remember, Punto's already had 2 stints on the disabled list this year. So I mean, you feel like you're letting your ball club down. All of a sudden your arm's bothering you again. Dad comes up with some kind of crazy idea, but you go, what do I got to lose? And really, sometimes you can break loose an adhesion or some little, maybe there's a little spur or some kind of little thing right there, and you moved it around to the point where it feels fine right now.
Here's a 3-1 to Westbrook, and it's a walk. So Jonathan Neese walks the pitcher, his first walk of the afternoon. And it's runners at first and second with 1 down, and it brings in the aforementioned Nick Punto.
And we always knew he could swing the bat, and he's done a terrific job in pinch hitting roles and in a spot start here or there. And so you really like this pretty complete ball player, Nick Punto.
Punto hits it sharply to first, out at second, and it hits Westbrook into left field, and a run will score. That's Descalzo, and it makes it 3-1.
Sure that didn't hit him in the helmet or something, but he appears to be fine.
Popped right back up. What could have been a double play ball turns into nobody out on this play, and it's a fielder's choice and an error on the first baseman.
Up on the shoulder. Descalzo, he's watching the play develop. Now he sees it gets into the outfield, so he'll come around and score.
Big play there. Here's John Jay. Jay has doubled, scored back in the first, and also flied out to left. Runners at first and second. Big breaking ball, 0-2. Here's an 0-2 pitch to John Jay. The scoring today for the Cardinals: 2-run homer by Pujols in the first, following a double by John Jay. And then moments ago, the error by Duda, allowing Descalzo to score. Jay fights it off. It's off the bag and into center. A run will score. And it's runners at the corners, and nobody's at first base, and they throw it away. They thought McKay, the first base coach, was standing at the bag, and another run comes in. You talk about a crazy inning, and it's unraveling right now for Pagan and the Mets. Pagan thought that Dave McKay was Duda and threw it to first.
This bouncer up to middle, and it goes off the bag, deflects away from the center fielder. That helps out. Now he picks up, he's not sure here, so he fires it to Dave McKay.
So that's an error on Pagan, and here's Pujols, and it's 5-1. What an odd inning this has turned out to be.
Just don't let it end right here.
One out, runner at second, and Pujols hits a fly ball into center. Pagan Gets himself in a position to make a throw. He does, and Jay stays put at second base.
That was your walk-off hero last night in Angel Pagan, and then a bit of a goat if things don't go well here today for the Mets.
He'd be one of them right now.
He'd be one of them. There's a couple of errors in this inning.
Matt Holliday will be the hitter. He has struck out twice.
Al, I got a quick question for you. Back in your day, did they use shaving cream when they pied a guy in the face during a post-game interview, or real whipped cream, which is what they seem to be using now, because Angel Pagan got pied in the face with real whipped cream last night while I was interviewing.
I do not remember a pie in the face.
Yeah, it must be more recent. But it seemed to me it was always shaving cream. But now the last couple of times I've had guys get pies in their face, it's been the real thing.
I prefer the real thing.
I would too. And you know, he was able to kind of get it away from his eyes, and then kind of licked it, and yeah, it was good.
I think at that point you don't care what it is.
No. He was brutally honest too last night. I said, "What'd you see last night?" He goes, "I hit that thing hard, didn't I?" Yeah, unfortunately for us, you did.
Here's the 0-2. Instead, time is called. Holliday with a pair of strikeouts tonight, or this afternoon. Neese has struck out 6. Pair of errors in this inning have cost the Mets. Cardinals with 5 hits.
Let me ask you a question, gentlemen. You kind of see a Joe Torre or Lou Brock or Bob Gibson giving somebody a pie in the face?
No.
Rest my case.
Yeah,
right.
Handshake and job well done. Let's go get him tomorrow, right? Slowly hit and foul. Mets will head to Florida after this ball game. Cardinals head to Pittsburgh. And this is the final truly long road trip of the year for the Cardinals. 10 days.
4 9-game 10-day road trips in one season. Seems a little much.
Then again, if you said that to Red Shandies, he'd say that sounds pretty easy to me. You know, the guys back then.
I'd go 3 weeks.
Right.
3-4 weeks. The first road trip that I ever went on at the big league level was a 5-city trip.
2-2.
Went from San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Chicago, Pittsburgh.
Geographically makes perfect sense.
2-2 pitch. Count runs full with Berkman on deck. And a right-hander getting loose for Terry Collins in his bullpen. Mentioned the run support that Westbrook has received this year. It continues today. One of the leaders in run support this season. 3rd highest in the National League. Just behind our good buddy Jason Marquis and Mike Leake.
Maybe Jake gives a little more money to the hitters. Takes them to dinner more often.
Another 3-2 pitch. And Holliday strikes out for the 3rd time. Westbrook and the Cardinals with a 5-1 lead. (1975) in our Schnooks, this date in baseball history. Mets infielder Joe Torre sets a dubious MLB record by hitting into 4 straight double plays in one game.
Remember that game? He didn't take any razzing.
You were talking, Pat, the other night about Albert Pujols having hit into 22 already this year, and the thoughts of Albert and Tony La Russa.
Well, you have to have a situation where guys are on base, and you have that happen. First of all, he's 10 away from the National League record. Miguel Tejada 32 in one season. Now, Albert's never hit into, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 in one game. 2 in one game the other night, but not 4 in one game. Maybe when Albert was talking to Joe Torre today, they were commiserating about that. I'm not sure, but.
Waiting for Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire. We saw the other night at Wrigley Field, Roy Halladay having to leave for the Phillies with heat exhaustion, middle of the game. And it is a blistering hot afternoon here in the Big Apple.
Apparently, they're going to keep the roof on in Toronto today. It's an afternoon game. Try and cool it down with expecting regular temperatures like at over 100, and then with turf field.
Well,
So
I can attest sitting out there for the pregame show how hot it is, and I can only imagine now. And the fans in the stands are doing anything they can to stay cool.
Saw the other day in Minnesota, of all places, the heat index was the hottest in Major League Baseball. It was at almost 115 in Minnesota. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pagan, a ground ball, and again it's Punto, backhands and makes the play. There certainly is a comfort level defensively with Nick Punto out there.
It really is. You're kind of really just going to enjoy watching him the way he plays. And you can see how he uses that footwork to coincide with his arm strength to get those throws across there.
Here's Lucas Duda.
And Al, he's part of that bench, Nick Punto is, that the veteran bench that we were missing for so long with all the injuries, including to Nick Punto 2 times on the disabled list, including starting the season after that sports hernia. He's one of those guys that I think a lot of people didn't realize when they picked him up in the offseason, you know, just what they had. I think we knew of him, but when we heard that he was down with a sports hernia, a lot of us were like, well, that's part of that veteran bench you were hoping to have coming out of spring training that now maybe is finally back.
And a 1-1. Good pitch.
Had a couple, you know, we had a lot of call-ups because of the injuries. Young kids got a chance to play in that role, which is very, very difficult for a rookie. And the old-fashioned sunglasses. That's why he's so good.
He's an old-fashioned player.
And that's
He's
it.
a throwback.
Got a little flip on the side where you just pull them down and they become sunglasses, or if you don't need them, you flip them up like they are now.
2-2 pitch to Lucas Duda.
And then we got our stylish young men with his Oakleys. And some of the older.
Not so young.
3-2 pitch to the Mets' first baseman. Line drive and a base hit out to left. Pitch that was up from Westbrook.
It really is just so simple. When he keeps the ball down, they're ground balls. You get the ball up above the belt, they're able to hit it enough in the air to get it over the infield, and the ball will reach the outfield for a hit.
Jake Westbrook, 1 strikeout, 10 groundouts, and 2 flyouts.
He's the second best ground ball ratio in the major leagues.
Right behind Charlie Morton.
We'll see him Sunday, I believe.
Morton is right around 60%. He's 8-5, but his outs 60% on the ground, and for Westbrook, he's at 58% coming into play today. How about a double play? Out at second, and the second double play turned by the Cardinals. 6-4-3. Berkman, Freese, Molina coming up. Baseball this afternoon is brought to you by the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill at Lumiere Casino. It's now open, a sports bar for everyone. By Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And for a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Hot afternoon, Flushing, New York. And the Cardinals trying to pick up win number 51 on the year. Jonathan Neese, not much help defensively. And really hasn't pitched all that poorly. He's given up a total of 5 hits. He did give up the 2-run homer to Pujols, but he has struck out 7. But Westbrook has been outstanding and one of his better starts so far this afternoon. Here's a look at the line for Neese. Pitch count at 79. And the Cardinals have Lance Berkman to lead things off, who is 1 for 2. He popped out to first. And he's also singled back in the 4th with a base hit up the middle. Jonathan Neese 8-3 with a 3.18 ERA in 13 games since May 12th. Only Gallardo of Milwaukee, Jurgens of the Atlanta Braves have more wins over that span as Berkman pops it up. Pagan makes the catch, and there's one away. Take a look at the location here for Berkman, and normally he crushes that pitch.
Down and in, drop that bat head. It is a cutter coming in on him and just missed the center of it ever so slightly to get underneath. As mentioned, Cardinals only have 5 hits.
Freeze hits into some tough luck.
It could make it a lot easier on the bullpen if they could really break loose. Cardinals on a little bit of rut right now. With every decision since the All-Star break has been by a bullpenner.
Here's Yadier Molina, and he had the 2 crushing defeats, one by Phillips in the Reds with that walk-off homer, and we saw the other one last night by Pagan. And both ending in 6-5 defeats for the Redbirds. A liner that's caught by Murphy over at third. Follow every Cardinals game through Game Connect on FoxSportsMidwest.com. As you watch the game on TV, you can join the conversation about the game on Twitter, track trends and stats. Game Connect, find it at FoxSportsMidwest.com. It really has been hit or miss this year with Jake Westbrook. Either really good or not all that good.
And I think that he's closer to the really good guy than the not so good guy.
Today he's been very good.
Yes.
Ground balls after ground ball outs.
And that's what you expect from him. Actually probably struck out more this year than we're accustomed to, but this would be more of a typical outing for him. 1 or 2, 3 strikeouts, a lot of ground ball outs.
Lifted into center and backing up, making the catch to Scalzo. Build-A-Bear Workshop Day at Busch Stadium. Cardinals and Rockies, Sunday, August 14th. 12,000 fans ages 15 and under receive a bear honoring Stan the Man with a paid admission. For tickets, visit Cardinals.com. Thinking about getting the kids to a game before school. Perfect weekend to do it. For many kids, that's the final weekend before school starts. And there are discounted tickets throughout that weekend against the Rockies. That Sunday, they can run the bases after the game. And also terrace level seats that afternoon. Get a free hot dog and soda. That's Sunday, August 14th for the Build-A-Bear. That'll be it for Neese, and this is Nick Evans, the pinch hitter. Here's a 2-0 pitch.
Nick hasn't played a lot, just 4 for 26.
And a ground ball to second. Punto. 2 outs. So quickly 2 outs, and it's back to Reyes.
That ball moving, just down end on him. Got over the top of it, and then a little ground ball out.
Reyes with a triple and a run scored. He's also grounded out to third. I'll be interested to see the field when we get back to St. Louis. I'm sure Bill Finley is patiently putting it all back together. Head groundskeeper of the Cardinals. Reyes hits it to Pujols, who will take it himself. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jake Westbrook. We jump ahead to the 7th when we come back. Pitching change for the Mets. We'll tell you about that in a moment. It's 5-1 St. Louis. We flash back in a game changer. Jack Clark, 1985. First home run with the Cardinals, April 9th, 1985. Dwight Gooden on the mound. Gary Carter behind the plate. First game with the Cardinals, and he goes deep.
On the opening day that year.
Yep. DJ Carrasco, 6'4", 215-pounder out of Arizona, takes over.
He was recalled from Buffalo on June the 12th. He's allowed 8 earned runs in his last 13 2/3 innings.
So that's it for Jonathan Neese. 6 innings. He strikes out 7. Gives up 5 runs, 3 of those earned, and 5 base hits. Descalso, Westbrook, and Punto for St. Louis. And the first pitch is taken for a ball. Cardinals with the 5 hits, none bigger than Pujols' 2-run homer back in the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hot, steamy, muggy afternoon here in New York. 1-2 the count on Daniel. Grounded out to short. Also a double and a run scored in the 5th. 1 for 2, and way out in front, and waves at that pitch and strikes out. Make sure you tune in tonight. I know the guys back in St. Louis at Fox Sports Midwest have worked very hard on this project. It's the Marshall Falk football roast from the other night. And it's the beginning of his induction into the Hall of Fame in Canton. They say it's a great, great program. You don't want to miss it tonight at 7 on Fox Sports Midwest. Pop out by Westbrook, but it has Steven Jackson, Aeneas Williams, Dick Vermeil, all part of that celebration. The Marshall Falk Canton Countdown tonight at 7.
Let's hope they get something solved real quick so we can have that weekend ceremony too.
Well, they will have that. It's just they wouldn't have the game.
They wouldn't have the game?
Yes.
And the Rams were supposed to play in that game too.
Rams are supposed to play in the Hall of Fame game. Here is Nick Punto. They had to dig him out of the dugout or the clubhouse or somewhere. Told he went and got a new bat.
Jerry Davis saying, hey, I got to stay out here.
Yeah.
Under the sun the whole time. Come out here.
Punto has struck out twice and reached on an error. Cardinals picked up 3 runs in the 5th. And a fly ball out to right. Carrasco has a 1-2-3 inning, and it's time to stretch. Next time you want to catch a Cardinals game, head to StubHub. You'll find the seats you want, the freedom to choose where you'd like to sit. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals. Westbrook back to work as we head to the 7th inning, bottom half. And by inning for Jake Westbrook, he has been as efficient as we've seen him this year. One more reminder, field box $20, bleachers $16, terrace $9. all 4 games against Houston next week. And that Cubs Sunday terrace level seat's only $19. So dynamic pricing for the ball games next week. And there's a strike to Justin Turner. There are different ways, Al, as you well know, to get things done in baseball. And you have Tony La Russa and Terry Collins, who are 2 of the 7 current major league managers who are 62 or older. You know, a lot of people are seeing the trend of, you know, maybe getting your team with an older manager, more experience. Here's another grounder, and Freese makes the play. Tony La Russa is 66. You just saw Washington hire Davey Johnson with a connection, obviously, to the Mets. He's 68. Jack McKeon is 80. Charlie Manuel could win the World Series again this year. He's 67. And strike 2, Carlos Beltran, who was struck out and walked.
Look at some of your younger guard, Gardenhire, Francona, Socia.
2 away.
Punto's been all over the plate. Club's been very busy and it's been flawless. So has Jake, nearly. I mean that in absolute terms.
1 strikeout, 15 groundouts, and 3 flyouts for Westbrook. Here's Murphy, fly to center, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. When he has a lot of base runner on, for instance, back in the 4th, he had a walk to Beltran. He was erased on a double play. Single in the 5th by Duda, erased on a double play. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Thing too that's been a key today, Westbrook getting ahead in the count, and when he has not had success this year, and Dave Duncan's talked about it, he doesn't get strike 1 in there, almost as if he eases up.
Well, and sometimes it's almost as if the ball moves so much that it goes, you can't control it in the strike zone. And then you kind of start aiming, and that's not what you want to do either.
2-1, hit out to center to Jay. Perfect day for ice cream. It's 5-1 on a hot afternoon. HP game recap. Westbrook 7 innings, 1 earned run. Pujols the 2-run homer in the 1st, and Reyes 1 for 3 with a run scored. That 1 hit was a triple. HP touchpad game recap. Steamy afternoon here in New York. John Jay, Albert Pujols, and Matt Holliday. First pitch swung on and missed by Jay. 2nd inning of work for Carrasco. Quickly 2 strikes. Total of 7 hits in this game and 5 for the Cardinals, and they lead it 5-1. 2-run homer by Pujols in the 1st and picked up 3 runs in the 5th. Jay scored on that home run by Pujols after doubling. He's flied to left and also flied out to center.
That's got a little sloppy in the 5th inning when the Cardinals scored 3, 2 unearned runs. But the pace of this game you cannot argue with. With this type of heat,
One-two pitch. 2-2. Matchups for this weekend: Carpenter and Mahalam tomorrow, Garcia and Kevin Correa on Saturday, Correa, 11-game winner, 11-7. Playable for Murphy, and he makes a nice catch. Cal Loesch and Charlie Morton on Sunday.
Third baseman Murphy going back and kind of run parallel to tarp.
Here is Pujols. His home run back in the first was number 21. Grounded out to short, flied out to center.
Afternoons like this were great to wear their old wool flannel uniforms.
Oh, 2 pitch. Fouled back by Pujols. Back in the first, a long, towering shot by Albert Pujols. Now 12 hits shy of 2,000 in his career. Two outs.
In the bat, little breaking ball right there. Almost looks like some of these guys are starting to feel the fatigue and pitches that they would drive or be able to really put good wood on. They're kind of pulling off of.
And a tough day for Holiday, a rare 3-strikeout afternoon. Sometimes Tony will see this and then figure out, okay, when do I need to get him that off day? This Pujols partially last night facing the knuckleballer.
Tony does have an awful nice situation when you have your big bats that expect to play every day.
Yes, they do.
Come to the ballpark, want to be in that lineup.
Out of play. How tough would that be, though, if you're Tony La Russa and you're looking at Pujols, Holiday, and Berkman, the urge to play those guys, and I know you can't wear them out, but the urge would be there to say, well, maybe I can just get one more day out of them. You know?
It's always there. The temptation's always there, and like I said, he has the luxury of knowing that they all want to be there.
There's a high fly ball into right. Carrasco dropped down on that pitch, and the catch is made. 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light. By Bank of America, where ATM deposits are as easy as an infield fly. No deposit slip, no envelope with Bank of America, member FDIC. And by AT&T. The Shea Bridge in honor of William Shea. That's beyond the bullpens in right center, and we saw Berkman in game 1 hit one to that bridge. Angel Pagan for the Mets. Their half of the 8th. Westbrook, as good as we've seen him this year, maybe as good as we've seen him wearing a Cardinal uniform here today. Pagan twice is grounded out to Nick Punto at second. Over 37,000 here today. And a 1-0 pitch.
With the conditions he's dealing with, this in my mind is his best outing.
$16 ground ball outs from Westbrook today. Here's a 1-2 pitch. A couple of key injuries when you talk about playoff races occurred last night. One of them involving the National League Central, Carlos Gomez is out with a broken clavicle. So Doug Melvin could be on the move looking to replace him. And then Stephen Drew, broken ankle, and they believe he's done for the year. Shortstop for the Diamondbacks, and there's a strikeout, number 2 for Westbrook on the afternoon.
Overpowers Pagan with pitch up in the zone.
Slicing out to left, Holiday can't come up with it. And Duda on his way to second base.
Second hit. 2 of the 3. Holiday balls, like you said, you slice. Looked like it might have gotten up around the wrist area. So I thought it was going to be down in the glove, trapped it, but might have gotten to that ball and overran it. Scored a hit. It's only the 3rd hit, and Duda has 2 of them.
Ronnie Paulino is grounded out and hit into a double play. That's where you'd love to see Holiday be able to keep that in front, hold him to a single, and then have a chance to get a 3rd double play. Cardinals have turned 2, one off of Paulino's bat and also off of Murphy. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch count still very, very efficient, only at 81. Back to Westbrook. Nice play. Looks back the runner. 2 outs.
We've talked about how well Westbrook fields his position. And most single ball pitchers become very good fielders with so many ground balls.
Jason Pridey will be the hitter. 0 for 2. Mets with just 3 hits today. Foul back.
Pridey just 4 for his last 29.
Talks so much about pitching to contact and sinkers. You wonder if Tony La Russa will always put a guy like Punto out there, Descalso, and his best defense to aid Jake Westbrook. I mean, Punto clearly has made a difference here today.
That was going to be Descalso was the odd man out. Punto was going to be in the field along with Terrio at short. But then when Terrio decided to serve the suspension, Descalso got the start.
Base hit out to left center field, drops in, and it cuts a lead to 5-2. So that base hit drives in Duda, and it's 5-2. Scott Hairston digs in. He'll be the pinch hitter, and Mitchell Boggs starting to get loose in the pen. Friday with the RBI, his 14th, and only the 4th hit today for the Mets. And despite the dominance of Westbrook, they're one base runner away from having the tying run come to the plate.
Some quality arms in the Cardinal bullpen, but there's not a lot of confidence right now with some of them. So real key for Westbrook to get out of this inning.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hairston was used as a pinch hitter late last night. Strike 2.
Harrison had been playing quite a bit, playing well. Then right before the Cardinals came in here, he left the game with a bruised left shin.
Reyes is on deck, and here's a 1-2 pitch. Got him. Big strikeout for Westbrook. 3rd of the afternoon.
Going to the 9th here at Citi Field in New York. Cardinals have that 3-run lead. Coming up immediately after the game, it's Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Jim Hayes, Cal Eldred in studio. They'll be talking about Jake Westbrook getting his outs early in counts. They'll also talk about that wacky and wild 5th inning and a preview of the Pirates series that's coming up tomorrow night. Lance Berkman leads things off here, guys, in a 5-2 game.
Thank you, Pat. Great job as always. And Manny Acosta takes over for the Mets. 3rd pitcher used behind Nice and Carrasco. Berkman, Freeze, Molina. Acosta, part of our Chevy call to the bullpen. Cardinals with 2 runs in the first on a Pujols home run, and then 3 in the 5th, aided by 2 errors by the Mets. Cardinals about hit the Mets 5-4, lead the ball game 5-2. Berkman on the first pitch, opposite way. Carries to the track for the out. Question now for Tony La Russa. He had Boggs up and getting loose. Do you extend Jake Westbrook, whose pitch count shouldn't even come into question, but the heat does for the 9th inning, or do you go to your closers and a rough road trip and get him right back out there?
It's a great question. You know, are you warming up Salas, telling him that if one man gets on, you're in the game, or are you just telling him, okay, you're going to start this inning fresh? Usually, in today's ball game, you start the inning fresh.
Freeze 0 for 3. No balls and 2 strikes. Fly to center, grounded back to the pitcher, and lined out to second. Ooh, just missed on the outside corner. Freeze right around that 300 mark. He's at 303. Freeze, a liner that's caught. Two down, and Yadier Molina will be the hitter.
Give Yadi some credit on this hot day back behind the plate, wearing that gear, working with Westbrook. Like they've been in sync all afternoon.
90 pitches for Westbrook today. Last inning was 17, the most of any inning. One ball, one strike here on Molina on that check swing. You'll see some players go back to the clubhouse and cool off on a hot day. Others stay right there where Jake Westbrook is.
Sometimes it's too much if you go back too far into the clubhouse in such a drastic change. Oftentimes a pitcher might take a chair and sit down in the tunnel, and you get a little bit of a breather there. But the trainers can work on them with the ammonia water. A lot of hydrating goes on a couple days prior to a start like today.
Up the middle and a base hit. First hit for Molina. 1 for 4 today. Extends the inning to Descalso. You don't want to face him 7th inning or later.
Reading the body language there, it's kind of hard to tell whether he's still in or not.
Descalso with a double and a run scored back in the 5th. Check swing, strike 1. We're expecting very big crowds this weekend in Pittsburgh. We'll be at PNC tomorrow night. Join us here on your exclusive home of Cardinals baseball, 5:30 Fox Sports Midwest. Runner goes. That's Molina. No throw and a steal. Oh, and 2. So a stolen base now for the Cardinals, and that snaps that long string of consecutive games without a steal.
And guess who does it? His second steal of the season, but Cardinals were flirting with the all-time record. Was it 35 games without a steal? And
consecutive games, yeah.
They were like at 34, I believe.
There's a 1-2. That's not a record you want to be a part of.
No.
As we talked about, a lot of times a double switch, or rather double steal, you're going to pick up a stolen base in the back end.
Sure. The guy gets thrown out, or one gets catcher takes a shot at one of them and throws one of them out, and the other guy gets a steal. But it just I think Tony was even surprised by the stat that you came up with, and it had been such a long time since the Cardinals had a successful steal.
3-2 the count on Daniel Descalso. And he walked him. Skip Schumacher. Here's our answer for Westbrook. Will be the pinch hitter for Jake. So his afternoon is through with 8 innings of great pitching and 2 runs, 4 hits.
You got to take a shot. Get some more insurance runs. And Westbrook did his job. What a brilliant outing from him.
I think it's safe to say that's the best we've seen him this year.
I say it is, and I also say that I'm not surprised when I see him pitch that effectively. It's just a fact that when he keeps the ball down, those ground balls all come, and he can have a dominant performance.
Little liner into center field, and it gets down. That's a base hit. RBI for Schumacher, and it makes it 6-2. Six to 2 Redbirds on the RBI base hit from Skip.
That way, Skip. That makes it worth it. Fights it off a little bit. Khan comes in here, tries to dive for it. really kind of backhand it, and lucky didn't get by him. But
6 a serious number. The Cardinals have scored 6, so tomorrow all day at On the Run at Mobile, 20-ounce coffees or fountain or frozen drinks for just a quarter at On the Run at Mobile. Here's Nick Punto, who is 0 for 4. Struck out in the first, struck out in the third, reached on an air and flied out to right. I wonder if you still bring in Fernando Salas in this spot.
got Boggs warming up now.
Yeah,
So
second time he's been up.
he's one of your key guys. So it's not a safe situation, so you switch off.
Get out of play by Punto.
You also accomplish telling Salas, okay, you might have had a couple rough games, but we haven't lost any confidence in you. You were coming in a safe situation. Those are the important little things to just kind of put into your mindset. That you know that your teammates haven't lost confidence, or don't lose confidence in yourself.
Check on Skip. One ball, one strike on Nick Punto. One and two. Regardless of what Punto does here, again, it is worth repeating how good his defense has been today. Not really tested all that much with some tough plays. He had a couple, but the turns on the double plays, he had 2 of those.
And he was busy.
He was busy with all those ground ball outs. 1-2 pitch to Punto. That sends us to the bottom of the ninth. Cardinals get some insurance thanks to Skip Schumacher. Jake Westbrook is our Budweiser player of the game. 8 innings, 4 hits, couple of runs, both were earned, a walk and 3 strikeouts, and very efficient.
Let's turn it over to Mitchell Boggs now, appearing for the 32nd time. See the 33 strikeouts and 34 in the 3rd innings. Had a rough iron the other day, but he needs a bounce back performance, and Tony's showing his confidence in him. Check this 6-2 lead.
While we have a moment as Boggs is getting loose, we remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Top of the lineup, Jose Reyes. 1 for 3 today with a triple back in the 4th and a run scored. Strike 1 underway here in the Mets half of the ninth. We will not see the Mets until September 20th. That's pulled foul and out of play. .90 pitches today for Westbrook. Cardinals can hold on. They would give Jake his 8th win of the year. It would snap the losing streak for the Cardinals. They'd go to 51 and 47. Tapped foul again.
Cardinals win this game. He said he'd be 8-4. The team would get their 11th win. That'd be second most by any of the starters. Garcia has 12, and then it would be Jake Westbrook with 11 games that they start.
1-2 pitch. Nine years with the Mets. Will it be 10, 11, 12, or 13 with New York after this year?
You said that the first time today, and I'm still kind of shocked that he's been around that many years.
Held on to by Molina. Strikeout for Boggs. One away here in the bottom of the ninth.
Boggs has got great stuff coming out of that bullpen. He can throw 93, 94 with a sinking action on it. His breaking ball is good. Sort of a personal favorite of mine, and I like guys that have football mentalities, have a little football pedigree to them, and Boggsy has that.
Yeah, but he was a quarterback.
Yeah, but come on, got to be tough to be that.
You got to stay in the pocket.
You got to stay in the pocket.
Fly ball out to left, and no diving chance here for Holliday. Drops in for a hit. The ball will find you, and it's kind of one of those days right now for Matt Holliday to go with 3 strikeouts. Try to make a sliding catch previous inning. Some believe this could be the final at bat for Beltran at home.
Well, just kind of came in on him, and as you said, he failed to make that one diving catch and played this one back a little bit. They think the trade could be that imminent, huh? They're going to go on probably a long road trip.
They've got
long enough.
Yeah. And you hear this crowd, some of them on their feet for Beltran. Even Beltran acknowledged that, saying that this could be his final game in a Met uniform.
15 home runs, 61 RBIs. Good fan there.
The Astros offered 6 years, $96 million. He turned that down to come to New York for 7 years, $119. And the final year of his deal is this season. Popped up left field. Let's hear the ovation for Beltran. And it's up to Daniel Murphy on this hot afternoon to extend the game. Two outs and a runner at first. Play behind that runner. And a ground ball that's pulled foul.
If this Mets team was healthy, you know, they've got some young hitters.
Put them in the Central.
Yeah.
They're right in the race. Liner foul. And New York down to their final strike. There's a bag, some kind of wrapper that was blown around right in front of the plate area.
Turner, the runner at first, was trying to sneak down to second base as everyone was watching the wrapper, and Eventually time was called. Turns to first. They're not paying any attention to him.
Here's the 0-2. Fouled back in on the hands of Daniel Murphy. What a tough pitch that is.
Yeah, that's a good jam shot there. Murphy 0 for 3 today, but in his last 10 games batting .381.
And that pitch is in the dirt. No stolen base on that play. One ball and 2 strikes on Daniel Murphy. A fly out to center, hit into a double play, and fly to center again in the 7th. Boggs trying to record the final out and get a win for the Redbirds and Jake Westbrook. Long fly ball, right center field. Jay calling for it. He's got it. The Cardinals salvage a game in the 3-game series. Boggs is scoreless 9th inning, and the Cardinals hold on for the win.
Well, his starting pitching means so much in this game, and Westbrook was outstanding. He set the tone. Albert got him on the boards. Boggsy closes it out.
So 6-2 our final this afternoon. Tony La Russa and the Cardinals pick up win number 51. They're now 51-47. Nick Punto busy at second base with all the ground balls thanks to the starter Jake Westbrook, but it was Pujols that got it all going. A 2-run homer in the first inning, his 21st of the year. Westbrook picks up the win. He's now 8-4. It's off to Pittsburgh. 6-2 the final.
Cards take the finale in New York by a final of 6-2. Cal Eldred and I are here to break things down on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Cal, this was a game the Cardinals needed to win, and they did.
Sometimes you think, it's only July. Is there a must-win? It felt like it today. The Cards came through. Give Jake Westbrook a lot of credit. Great outing today.
He was good. More from our first righty out of the bullpen coming up. Plus, after dropping 2 straight in the Big Apple, the Cardinals sent Jake Westbrook to the mound. We break down his successful afternoon. Plus, the Cardinals have gone from road warriors to road wimps, not counting today. What's happening to the Redbirds away from Busch? And we'll head back to Queen for player reaction and an afternoon edition of Tony TV. Plus, a look ahead to the weekend series against the Pirates. It's National Junk Food Day. We're doing our part. Cardinals Live is coming up next.
Welcome to Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live.
Pujols, high fly ball out to deep left at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Off the facade. The second deck here at Citi
Number
Field.
21 for Albert, a 2-run shot. Put the Cardinals up 2-0. The Cardinals go on to win by the final count of 6-2. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside our Fox Sports Midwest studio in St. Louis for the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, alongside a man whose career ERA was over a half-run worse in day games, Cal Eldred. I'm Jim Hayes, coming up back to the Big Apple for Tony La Russa's post-game thoughts and Cardinal player reaction. But, Cal, the Cardinals get the finale of the weekend set, or the 3-game set, in New York, and it had a little bit of everything. It had some good hitting. It had a couple of weird bounces, yes. Even a Cardinal stolen base. More importantly, it had Jake Westbrook, and he was a horse.
Jake Westbrook was absolutely awesome. He did a lot of good things. Through 8 innings, only giving up to 2 runs, and did it in 90 pitches. So you can see, we'll talk about the counts later. He didn't throw too many pitches, didn't go too deep in the counts. Jake was great. John Jay was great. Albert Pujols getting him off with a couple runs early. A lot of good things the Cardinals did, and they needed to do that today.
All right, and remember, Cardinal fans, you can get a hold of us via what the kids call the Twitter. The tweet is on. Send us your questions and comments 2 at FS Midwest. We'll answer some of them throughout the program. Right now, we get back to Flushing Meadows. Pat Parris standing by with John Jay, who is 9 for his last 18. He's also our Mid-America Chevy Dealers Player of the Game. Pat?
I'm with John Jay, and nice job tracking down that last out. Long run for you.
Yeah, you know, it's a spacious ballpark out here, and it was nice to get out of here for W today. So.
Yeah, nice to see that as well. Nice to see you get a double there in the first inning and then get driven in by a blast by Albert.
Well, that was huge right there. You know, it set the tone for the game right there. Albert coming up with that big, you know, 2-run home run, and, you know, Wesley did a great job today. I mean, you know, he did awesome. He really set the tone and kept their hitters down today.
What did you see what he was doing from center field there? It seemed like the sinker was obviously doing
his sinker was on today, and you know, he had command of all 3 pitches today. He mixed in his cutter and his changeup too, so I mean, he did a heck of a job out there today.
I don't know if you noticed, but Yadier Molina stole a base, so the long string of not having stolen bases of the team is over.
Well, that was huge. I mean, Yadi's sneaky out there, so that was nice to see right there. You know, it was nice to laugh about it and stuff, and it was nice to get that stolen base right there for him.
And get a win, just the second one after the All-Star break. This team is known for getting off to fast second half starts, not so far this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we've been playing real bad ball, you know, just we haven't been getting breaks and stuff, and, you know, if you watch all the games, they've been close games, so, you know, that's the way baseball goes sometimes, and we still got a lot of time, and, you know, we head over to Pittsburgh now, so we can start talking about that a little bit, and, you know, just take it one game at a time from here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's John Jay. A couple of hits and an RBI as well. Jim, back to you in St. Louis.
Pat, thanks. The highlights from this one. Cardinals jump out to a lead in the first. Albert Pujols fouling off 4 pitches, crushing the 9th pitch of the at-bat to left. His 21st. Cardinals go up 2-0. Still 2-zip. Bottom of the 4th. Mets still looking for their first base runner. And Jose Reyes will deliver. Watch as he drills this one over the head of John Jay. There's a lot of outfield out there, Cal. His 16th triple of the year, he would score on a ground out to cut the lead to 2-1.
Anytime Jose Reyes hits a ball over any outfielder's head, left field, right field, or center field, it's a triple.
5th inning, Cardinals catch a break. Nick Punto hits one sharply to first. Lucas Duda tries to get the Forrest at second, but hits Westbrook in the back. That allows Descalso to score, and that made it 3-1. Next up, it's John Jay, and the strange things continue. Hits one up the middle, deflects off the base and into center. Westbrook scores. John Jay caught off first base. Pagan fires to first, but the only one there is Dave McKay. He thought that was a fielder. Punto scores on the wild throw, extends the Cardinal lead to 5-1. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Westbrook still cruising along. He'll get Justin Turner to ground out to end the inning. 15 ground ball outs for Westbrook through 7 innings. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Now 5-2, 1 on for pinch hitter Scott Hairston. Cha-ching. Westbrook rings him up, Jake. 8 solid innings, gets through 8 for just the 2nd time this season. Top 9, insurance Skip Schumacher pinch hitting for Westbrook. Gets the base hit. Yadier Molina, who actually stole second, comes in to score. That made it 6-2. And that would be the final. Good afternoon in New York for the Cardinals as they win this one. The final count 6-2. The story was Jake Westbrook, who wins his 8th. Also, Pujols the big home run to set the tone with the offense. But all around, a nice outing for the Cardinals as they move on to the weekend set now with the Pirates. But the Cardinals did need to kind of get a little wind in their sails.
They did need to get some wind in their sails because they're going to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's above them in the standings. They need to go to Pittsburgh and win this series, at least win 2 out of these 3 ball games, and let the Pirates know that they're still the Cardinals of old. But do give the defense a lot of credit today too. Those ground balls that Jake Westbrook was letting the hitters hit right on the ground, they were picking them up and throwing them out at first.
Very efficient for Jake Westbrook. Goes 8 innings, just 90 pitches, 55 strikes, but he was outstanding today.
He was very good today, and I think one of the keys to him, you heard Dave Duncan say it on the pregame show, is to keep the ball down in the zone. He was able to do that, and the hitters went after him early. His changeup looked like his 2-seamer, and vice versa, and the cutter also. But today, Jake Westbrook, no surprise, he's our king of the hill. Give him a lot of credit, but ground ball outs, that's the theme. You said 15 in the first 7 innings, but what that does for him is it makes it very easy. He's not pitching with guys on base, and that's a big key. But if you watch this video, you see continuing to be able to throw the ball low in the zone. The ball looks like it's going to rise, then it sinks, and the hitters are hitting the top of the baseball. Obviously, the 2 outs are awful nice also on the double play. A couple of those double plays really come in handy, getting 2 outs with 1 pitch, but you can't do that unless he's down in the zone, Jim.
I'm noticing this. You see the ground ball outs coming when he keeps the ball down, but that's been an ongoing theme for Jake Westbrook. So we look at the last 7 road starts for Jake Westbrook. On the road, much different guy.
Yeah, he has been very effective on the road since May 20th. 5-1 with a very low ERA, but I think the hits allowed, that's the thing. He's keeping the ball on the ground. He can do that here in St. Louis. I got a lot of confidence in him. He does too. Sometimes he's been more consistent on the road than at home. He's capable of being very consistent at home also.
And Jake's performance today reminds us of a past performance by another guy that got a lot of ground ball outs. June of 2009, that would be Joel Pinheiro. And he was outstanding in this game in New York against the Mets.
But you see the same thing with his ball. If it's waist high, it ends up down by the knees. If it's knee high, it ends up down by the shins of the hitters. You see Yachty bringing his glove to the middle, right where he starts it, then his glove drops. And that's what that late movement, that late sinking movement is what causes those hitters to hit the top of the ball. And like I say, whether it's at the thigh high going to the knees or the knees going to the shins, that's how you get ground balls, and that makes those pitchers very effective.
Whatever it is, Jake Westbrook figured something out today, his best outing in a long, long time, maybe his best as a Cardinal. Enough from this outing that he can learn from it and repeat it?
Absolutely, and I think really they helped him out. The Mets helped him out by putting so many left-handers in the lineup. He's struggled more against right-handed batters than he has the left-handed batters, enabling him to use his changeup and his sinker. Plus, he had a good cutter today that he was throwing around 87, 88 miles an hour that comes in on those left-handed hitters. That made him even more effective today.
It helps to have a 2-run homer to start things off.
Question.
That's what happened for the Cardinals today. Albert Pujols going deep in the first inning, putting the Cardinals on the board. We'll take a look at Albert's long ball when we come back from break. Cardinals win.